Good day, everyone, especially to our instructor. And today, we're going to discuss Unit 2 Basis and Policies of Special and Inclusive Education under Legal and my assigned topic, which are RA 8371 or Indigenous Peoples' Right Act and Presidential Decree 603 or Child and Youth Welfare Code. So, before we start our discussion, let me introduce first my name. So my name is John T. Gilerawan, 20 years old, from Barangay Kanaway, Chateau Negros Oriental, taking up the Bachelor of Secondary Education, major in Social Studies, and a second year students in Norsus Chateau Campus. So without further ado, let's start our discussion. So, what is Republic Act number 8371? Republic Act number 8371, also known as the Indigenous Peoples' Right Act of 1997, passed and approved on October 29, 1997. This act to recognize, protect, and promote the rights of indigenous cultural communities or indigenous peoples, creating a national commission on indigenous peoples, establishing implementing mechanism, appropriating funds therefore and for other purposes. This means the Act makes provision for the promotion and recognition of the rights of indigenous cultural communities, indigenous peoples, or ICCs or IPs, with a view to preserve their culture, traditions, and institution, and to ensure equal protection and non-discrimination of members. The state shall not just provide health and other services, but as well as the education for indigenous people. So in Chapter 5, Social Justice and Human Rights, Section 28, Integrated System of Education, the state shall, through the NCIP, provide a complete, adequate, and integrated system of education relevant to the needs of the children and young people of ICCs or IPs. In Chapter 6, Cultural Integrity, Section 30, Educational Systems, the state shall provide equal access to various cultural opportunities to the ICCs or IPs through the educational system, public or private cultural entities, scholarship, grants, and other incentives without prejudice to their rights to establish and control their educational system and institutions by providing education to their own language in a manner appropriate to their cultural methods of teaching and learning. Indigenous children, youth shall have the right to all levels and forms of education of the states. In Section 31, which is the recognition of cultural diversity, the state shall likewise ensure the participation of appropriate indigenous leaders in schools, communities, and international cooperative undertakings like festivals, conferences, seminars, and workshops to promote and enhance their distinctive heritage and values. Chapter 7, National Commission on Indigenous Peoples, Section 46, Offices with the NCIPs. The NCIPs have the following offices which shall be responsible for the implementation of the policies herein after provided, specifically in Letter C, Office of Education. Office of Education, Culture, and Health, it shall assist, promote, and support community schools, both formal and non-formal, for the benefits of the local indigenous communities, especially in areas where existing educational facilities are not accessible to members of the indigenous group. It shall administer all scholarship programs and other educational rights intended for ICCs or IPs beneficiary in coordination with the Department of Education, Culture and Sports and Commission on Higher Education. It shall undertake within the limits of available appropriation a special program which includes language and vocational training, public health and family assistance program, and related subjects. It shall also identify ICCs or IPs with potential training in the health profession and encourage and assess them to enroll in schools of medicine, nursing, physical therapies, and other allied courses pertaining to the health profession. And according to Secretary Alan A. Kapuyan or NCIP chairperson, he said, ang Indigenous Peoples' Right Act 1997 or Republic Act No. 8371 ay isang milagro dahil tayo lang ang may ganitong batas sa buong mundo. Dapat panghawakan ito ng maayos ng ating mga katutubo at ipaalam sa iba kung ano ang ibig sabihin ng Republic Act na ito. Overall, this provision of RA 8331 aim to ensure that indigenous peoples have access to education that respect and promotes their cultural identity, integrates their knowledge system, and supports overall development. On the other hand, Presidential Decree 603, Child and Youth Welfare Code, it was established on December 10, 1974. It applies below 21 years of age, an extensive code for children of the Philippines. It's mandated to coordinate the implementation and enforcement of all laws, formulate, monitor, and evaluate policies, programs, and measures for children. There are also have a general principles. Article 3, Rights of the Child. All children have be entitled to the rights herein set forth without distinction as to legitimacy or illegitimacy, sex, social status, religion, political antecedents, and other factors. Article 4, Responsibilities of the child. Every child, regardless of the circumstances of his birth, sex, religion, or social status, political antecedents, and other factors, shall exert his utmost to develop his potentialities for service, particularly by undergoing a formal education suited to his abilities in order that he may become an asset to himself and to society. In Article 12, which is education, the schools and other entities engaged in non-formal education shall assist the parents in providing the best education for the child. Title 3, Child and Youth Welfare and Education. Chapter 1, Access to Educational Opportunities. Article 71, Admission to Schools. The state shall see to it that no child is refused admission in public schools. All parents are required to enroll their children in schools to complete at least an elementary education. Article 72, Assistance to implement policies effectively. Compulsory education policy. All necessary assistance possible shall be given to parents, especially indigent ones or those who need the services of children at home to enable children to acquire at least elementary education. In Article 74, the special classes, where needs warrants, there shall be at least special classes in every province, and if possible, a special school for the physical handicapped, the mentally retarded, the emotional disturbed, and the specially gifted. The private sector shall be given all the necessary inducement and encouragement to establish such classes or schools. So, in conclusion, both laws underscores the significance of education in empowering marginalized groups, whether indigenous peoples or children, and highlights the government's commitment to promoting inclusive and culturally sensitive educational system for all Filipinos citizens. So that's all for today. I hope you learned something. Thank you very much and God bless.